hearing this?
Anybody hear that?
How can we possibly have the slightest idea what to expect?
Well, we're back.
Hold on to your butts.
Welcome to the Jurassic Park Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Jost, and we're here to discuss all things Jurassic, including the movies, TV shows, music, toys, and more. In episode 423, we are going to see the return of a fan favorite segment here on the Jurassic Park Podcast, and that is the return of the Jurassic Mailbag with Jennifer Evans. We are back finally after like a few year maybe hiatus. I don't know. There's a discrepancy between our live streams that we did and the episodes that we recorded for the main feed. But we're back. And it's like no time has passed at all. It was exactly the same as it's ever been. We got a ton of voicemails, voice messages, and emails, and those written thoughts and everything. So we got a lot of stuff to go through today. There's some from the past. There's mostly stuff from currently right now. Lots of Jurassic World Rebirth thoughts. There's some video game thoughts, Chaos Theory, Sorna thoughts. There's a lot out there, and we're going to dive into everything. And if you want to be a part of a future episode and you want to have your voice featured or your thoughts featured, please go ahead and call our voicemail line 732-825-7763. You can go ahead and just leave us a 3-minute voicemail right there, or you could go ahead and pick up your phone, hit the record button on there, and email us a voice memo to JurassicParkPod@gmail.com. And you can also write your thoughts and feelings there as well and email those over. We will take whatever you have, any thoughts, any feelings, any comments about the Jurassic franchise, or if you just want to say hi, we welcome that as well. So we are very excited about the return of the segment and the future of this segment, and can't wait to get this thing kicked off. So I really hope you enjoy this segment. Also to note, we did record this episode probably a little over a week ago, I believe. So just in case any information has changed, that's why. I think at the time the movie was not out on digital yet and it was still kind of unsure, but hey, it's out. You can buy it now. And the DVD's coming soon, so stay tuned for that. But just so you know, that's why anything may sound a little out of date, but maybe it's not. That's cool too. Of course, while you're listening to this episode, hit us up on Blue Sky to continue the conversation. And as always, please check out our live streams on YouTube discussing all of the latest Jurassic news from around the world. Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. EST. Don't think there's going to be one this week, but stay tuned for next week. Also, be sure to subscribe to my newsletter for all things Jurassic, movies, TV shows, my podcast, other thoughts and appearances when I do get around to writing them. I will do that soon. Please find the link to the newsletter on JurassicParkPodcast.com/newsletter. But it is time, so let's go ahead and finally open up that mailbag and dive into everybody's thoughts, feelings, and comments in a new episode with Jennifer Evans of the Jurassic Mailbag.
Jurassic Mailbag.
Mailbag. Mailbag. Jurassic Mailbag never fails. It makes me wag my dino tails. And Brad and Jen, your Jurassic Mail.
It's Jurassic Mailbag with Brad Jost and Jennifer Tarek. By the way, Jen hates everything about the Lost World.
All right, so we are back with, here's the thing. I'm going to follow in typical mailbag tradition by not having any notes other than like we've got like some emails and stuff. So I just realized as I start to talk that I have no notes. I've got no intro. It's is it February? I don't know what month it is.
No.
Is it? It's July. No, August maybe? I don't know. One of the right around there. Anyway.
It'll be August by the time we finish.
I think it might be. Yeah, that's very possible. Based off the amount of submissions we have here today. So we finally opened up the mailbag once again because it's been way too long, and I think a lot of people have been wanting to hear, specifically from you, but wanting to hear the mailbag again, wanting to hear voicemails and emails and things like that, and everybody like really came through. And I found it pretty interesting that as soon as like Rebirth, like the trailer hit and people started sending in stuff for that, and then their reviews about the movie, like people were really coming through with all kinds of content and just wanting to be a part of the show again. And I'm like, you know what? I feel like I'm fine with putting out like voicemails and stuff that people are just like sharing their thoughts, and I don't really have to comment too much. But like, I feel like I was missing the other half of the mailbag. So it's time, Jen. How have you been? It's been
Wow.
a minute.
It's been a long time. It's been so long that you've like transported the video and I didn't get the memo that was what we're doing. And so you're like in the room with me and you're looking at a picture of me from like 2007. So it's fun.
Yeah, I know. I actually forgot I was on camera, actually, but I just so used to it at this point that like I don't know. It's just comes natural, I guess now. But yeah, it's been a while. I think last time
Yeah.
I don't know when. I don't like have it up, but I'm sure I could find it at some point. But we had done. I think the last thing we had actually recorded was like a mailbag that was live on YouTube. And that was probably the last one. It's been tough, and I've been like, I changed the format of the show a little
Yeah.
bit, and like just it's harder to do episodes like this nowadays. But I'm excited to get back to it. Hopefully we can keep this going for a little bit, and I don't
I
know.
forgot about the live mailbag. That's right. It was live. We were
Yeah.
getting comments. That was exciting. I like doing that. We should do that again at
Yeah,
some point.
that's like a whole
I like
another
the live.
level of like chaos, because like that's what I do on the live streams like pretty much every week. It's just me just comment or talking to people's comments and just sitting here in the basement by myself just talking out loud. Um but I don't know, it looks like maybe the last one we did was honestly 2023.
Whoa.
So that could be the last one that we did. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. It's my show, but I don't know what I'm talking about. Um, if Jen, if since 2023, if you haven't realized, zero things have changed. I still have no clue what's going on. 90% of the time. um,
Well, Brad, we've started this. When did we even start this? In like 2015, I think we were to start. You started. We started coming on. It's been 10 years, not like the 2 years, and you still are like, I don't know how to get this going. I don't know how to get this started. I come on
yeah,
with you, and you're like, do you hear this? Because I don't know. It's been 10
yeah.
years of this.
I have no
It's
idea.
fine.
I have no idea what I'm doing. And yeah, whether you want to write that in a review, that's fine. Go ahead. Throw me under the bus. I'm okay with it. But I want to get your thoughts because like I feel like since say 2023, like we got the last movie, Dominion, and then there's been a handful of stuff, and I don't know. Like, I want to know what have you been doing? Like, what's been going on there? I know you've been going on a lot of trips. I like seeing all those pictures and everything. We'll get to the rebirth of it all, but like in the time between Dominion and Rebirth, like what's your Jurassic fandom been like all these years?
Goodness. It feels like, well, first of all, it feels like yesterday that we did that live stream, like literally like a month ago. So it's weird that 2 years have passed. Like that's bizarre when you said that. I literally thought you would have said maybe last year at most. So that it's been 2 years is insane to me. I feel like I'm in the same place. Like I don't feel like much has changed. Like, so we just got another movie. I don't know. I mean, Josh is buying all the toys. Like we have a lot of toys, and I know my kids aren't into it really, so we don't really watch any of the shows. I know that there's a lot of cartoons and stuff out now. We don't really watch those.
Oh,
We're starting them on the Lego shows, but they don't really have interest. So I mean, the Jurassic pieces of the last 2 years has kind of been where we left off, like, and then the new movie. Like there kind of wasn't much Jurassic in those couple years. And I know there
yeah.
was stuff going on, but
Okay, so it looks like when did I say our last one was? I said 2023. Yeah, it might have been if I'm looking at our YouTube, we did one in November of 2023. So could have been that long. Yeah. But
wow.
so yeah, there's been TV shows, there's been a movie, there's been some other toys and things to collect. But yeah, it did
Hmm.
feel like This second movie, however many movies has this been? I don't know. Seventh movie came around very quickly.
7.
And I did get the chance to see it with you. I don't believe it was.
Yes.
I don't think it was your first time seeing the movie. It wasn't my first time. It was like my second time
No.
seeing it. Um,
Mhm.
so I actually like we hung out for like a little bit, but like I had Lincoln with me, so we kind of had to get home fairly quickly, and the movie wrapped up, and I'm like, wait, I don't even know what anybody thought of it. So, what what are your thoughts on Jurassic World Rebirth? I want to
Okay.
know.
Yeah, I mean, okay, first of all, that was so much fun. That was the funnest thing. I love our meetups. I had so much fun meeting up with everybody and hanging out with you and seeing how big Lincoln got, like the whole thing. I
Yeah.
love that part. Like the whole Jurassic part is great, but the community piece is my favorite thing. I had so much fun. I'm so glad we got to do that. I love seeing you. It was so much fun. The movie was good. I mean, it was good. It was solid. I think I've been comparing it to a mix between Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. And I love Jurassic Park 3. I'm like one of the few, you know. I love Jurassic Park 3. I think it's hilarious. And I'm so entertained. And I feel this is close to that. It takes place, on the single island. There's jungly. It's like they kind of a mission. Like it's kind of the same thing. I get a lot of vibes from Jurassic Park 3, and that's not bad because I like it. It's the Lost Worldy stuff, I guess, that I don't really like as much.
I was gonna say when you
But I mean,
mentioned the Lost World, I was like, uh-oh. I
I
know how
know
that's
those
gonna go.
pieces are meh. But I mean, I liked it a lot. I saw it. I don't know. I ended up seeing it 4 times,
Ooh,
something like that.
nice.
I think Josh has seen it more. He's about to see it more. He's going to see it a couple more times this week coming up. But
Nice.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I saw it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I liked it just as much as Jurassic Park 3. I like Jurassic Park 3 a lot, but it was more like it was like a higher production value level of Jurassic Park 3. Like it's if it
Oh
took
yeah.
that style, but made a better script, had more money attached, had like more professional people working on it. Even not to say Jurassic Park 3 didn't, because I really do like it. It just seems like this had more to it, more they pulled from the books, like they put just a lot more in it to get the lore in, and it was solid in that way. So it's like a solid Jurassic Park 3. So, and that's fine for me. I mean, it didn't touch Jurassic World or anything for me, but it's solid. It's fine. It's
There you
enjoyable.
go. Look at that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a nice review. I like hearing that. And I don't know. Are you still following up with Bryce and everything that she's doing in the past few years?
Um Not really. It's too much work. It's too much work. It's too much work.
I feel that.
It
I feel that.
it got to the point it got to the like the chase what excites you thing. That's what always motivates me in life. Chase what excites you. And that's a Bryce quote. And I always follow that. And it was just getting overbearing, and it was just tiring, and it was to a point where I had to literally force myself to do it. And I'm just like, why am I wasting time on this if I don't want to do it? And it got kind of there, it just started to die off, and I don't do it. I love Bryce. I just saw her at a con, like we talk, like I can email her all the time, like that whole thing. It's just the following of it all and the saving of it all. I don't need to do that anymore. I'm at a good place with her and all, so I don't need to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't think she needs me to do that, so it's okay. But yeah, I don't really do that anymore.
Hey, I love to hear that for you. That's nice. I like when you can just, when my friends can just chill and they don't have to worry about all this stuff. That feels
Yeah, it
good.
got too much.
I
It got
totally
too
get that
much.
because this all can get to be a lot, when you're covering this stuff like daily. Like it's literally daily, hourly, minute by minute. It's like it's a lot to keep up with. So yeah, to have that go away for a little bit and just to focus on what you want to focus on, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So it's not a
Yeah,
sad thing to
I'm
look back
currently
on or
doing that.
anything. Yeah, I like that. I
No,
like
yeah,
that idea.
everything's good. It's good. There's no hard, like I said, like she understands that completely. She's not like, oh, upset that or anything. Like we have a good relationship. Like everything's good there. I'm sorry to the fans because I'm sure I get a lot of emails like, what happened? And I'm just like, I'm sorry, I'm burnt out. Like I want to do other things. I want to do other things. Honestly, it's a decade, it's been like it's a decade at this point. I just want to do
Yeah.
other things. I want to focus on other things. So
Exactly. Like
yeah.
I feel like that same kind of weight as well. Like especially doing this 10 years, it's like, wow, okay. Do
Hmm.
like who are people do people still care? Like I don't know. It's interesting. So
Yeah.
it seems like it based off of all the emails and things we have here today. So but yeah,
Yeah.
I
People
I
still
I
care. People
I think
do. Yeah.
so. I like your summary there. So why don't we go ahead and just dive into it because we got a bunch to talk about here. And I will say, in the apparently 2 years, like you said, it feels like it's been like 12 minutes since we last talked. I mean, it wasn't that
Hmm.
long since we last talked, but like, since we last recorded, I actually did like clean out my email today. Like I literally went through everything and tried to find things that I've missed because my inbox has gotten like to be a complete mess over the past like however many years, and I feel like I just like haven't really kept up with it, and I got through everything. So there's a few in here that are like a little old, but I still wanted to get to them because I know people took their time to go through it. But there was a lot of new ones as well. And speaking of, we have
Hi,
one here
Jurassic
from
Park
Johnny,
Podcast. This
who
is Johnny,
has
and
been
I'm
here
super
like
excited for the
the whole
return of the
time.
Jurassic
You'll
Mailbag.
recognize Johnny, I feel like. Here we
I
go.
just wanted to call in and give some more of my thoughts on Rebirth, and I also had some ideas for the sequel if they do end up making one. So, as of right now, I have seen
Heck yeah.
Jurassic World Rebirth 3 times. All of those times, I saw it opening weekend. I saw it opening night, and then I saw it Saturday and Sunday. And, it was great. I really, really, really liked it. I thought it felt a lot like the original Jurassic Park. It's got great new characters. Dinosaurs are scary again. Great soundtrack. The soundtrack actually has a reference to the Jurassic Park 3 family motif, which I thought was really fun. I just noticed that. And I think it's in Cave Swim. I think that's the song it's in. But anyway, I really liked it. And obviously the movie's like kind of a standalone adventure. So that's had me thinking, like, what could they do with a sequel? And I had some ideas. So I think it would be really cool if they, like, it starts with, like, dinosaur corpses are showing up on beaches and getting people sick. And no one knows why. And so they bring in Henry Loomis to figure out what it is. And it turns out that it's the DX disease from the Lost World book. And, obviously the corpses on the beaches is just ripped straight from the first Jurassic Park novel. And so he, maybe he has some interns, and then, they investigate, and they're like, oh no. So they round up the crew from Rebirth with Zora and Duncan, and they all have to head to Eli St. Hubert. I think that's how you say it. They don't actually say the name of the island in the movie, I don't think. So, I don't know. I'm just guessing on that name pronunciation. But, so they all have to go back to this island because I thought it'd be cool if the only way to make a cure is is from the mutants' DNA or something. I don't know. Just because, like, I don't know, maybe the DX disease came from the mutants, so they have a tolerance to it, because I thought it'd be, they're mutants, they're not really, like, healthy, so I thought it'd be interesting if that's where the disease comes from. And they get there, and maybe, like, there are some nefarious scientists conducting experiments secretly, and I don't know, I thought it'd be interesting if it maybe ends on a cliffhanger or something, where they're all stuck on the island, they can't get off, they have the cure, but maybe the scientists, I thought it'd be cool if the scientists are from Parker Genetics, and, blah, 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 and they get off the island, they escape, or something, and maybe the movie ends on a cliffhanger if they want to do a trilogy. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But yeah, that was just my whole... It's basically just you take stuff from the Lost World and Jurassic Park books and kind of put it in. And obviously there'd be some fun action sequences and dinosaur stuff going on because it's a Jurassic Park movie. One thing I thought would be really, really awesome is if they have a camouflaging Carnotaurus and it's one of the mutants on the island or something. I thought that would be really cool. That was one of the other ideas I had. I mean, I guess my plot is a little bit repetitive because they're going back to the island to get another cure for another disease. I guess it's basically just Rebirth 2.0. I mean, I just thought it would be a fun idea, fun movie. And just wanted to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you think? What do you guys want to see in the sequel? And thanks for letting me talk, and stay safe, stay Jurassic, and bye.
Thank you, Johnny. Love hearing from you, Johnny. And great ideas there, actually. Like really, really interesting stuff. Just to note, yeah, I really love the fact that like Jurassic Park 3 kind of motif shows up a little bit. Whether it's like on purpose or not, I have no idea, and I'd love to know that for sure. But that is cool. Jen, what are your thoughts on like sequel like ideas? Do you think like what Johnny's saying is something that could work out? Because I feel like this movie was, especially at that Q&A that we were at, like Frank Marshall's like, we leave this movie wide
Mhm.
open for sequels. And I'm like, did you though? Like I'm confused. So what Johnny's stating here is actually like a great idea. I'd love to hear, but it is kind of like Rebirth 2.0. What do you think?
I have a couple thoughts here. So, is that Johnny the same Johnny that used to have a little boy voice like years ago? Because that's sending me a little bit.
Yeah, I believe so. I think Johnny's
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
growing up now. So sorry,
Oh my
Johnny.
gosh. Okay, that hit me. That hit me a little in the feels. Second, I really like the idea that he's very knowledgeable on books because I don't read the books, I don't read anything. So it's nice to have something like that exist in the books that you can that the disease situation. I kind of like that. And I don't think it's that repetitive. I think it's a nice continuation because it has a similar theme, but it could be different. And I like staying on the island. I think when we get off the island, it gets a little murky and it doesn't feel right. So I like staying on the island. So I kind of really like that idea a lot. I have not thought of sequels, to be honest. And I know at that Q&A, he's like, well, it could be open. It's this, that, and this. And I'm thinking, you don't have any idea what you're just saying that. Like, you don't know. You didn't plan this. Did you even watch the movie? Like, there's so many thoughts there. But
That's so funny.
but I really like this idea. I never thought of what a sequel would be, and I'm honestly on board with this now. Like I am committed to it. Now I kind of like it. I like that it is a continuation. I don't think it's repetitive.
Yeah, I guess if they were to do like if they were really to find out like what's we need a cure for a disease, like that's a little bit of the repetitive stuff. But I think if you were to just find out what is the cause of the disease, like I feel like that's less repetitive, right? And that feels like it falls in
Unless
line.
unless they just take it a step further, like they do the disease thing, but this is like they're forced to at this point 'cause it's like a disease caused by it, not something that people are looking for. So it's like a
Mhm.
disease as a repercussion, and then they're kind of forced to go a step further. So it has a similar theme, but I don't think it's that repetitive. I really don't see it that way because they're kind of more forced into it.
Yeah, and I like the idea of like, okay, we got to go like research the mutants and stuff like that, and seeing like
Mm-hmm.
something like the camo Carno would be really cool. And I do want to see more of like the D-Rex and maybe the Mutadons or whatever. And I would love to see this island explored a little bit more, because they kind of like pigeonholed themselves a little bit with the story by saying like all this stuff's died off and we
Mm-hmm.
all the stories are going to take place right here, I guess. So I would like to see that. And plus they did mention that like this is the island where the most dangerous of the dangerous are left behind. And it's like, okay, well, we saw like two weirdos, we saw the T-Rex and the Mutadons. We didn't see anything else that's weird. So I want to see what else they have that could be the most dangerous there. And I think if you're looking into mutants and messed up creatures like that could be causing a virus that are washing up on a shore, I think that's a great idea. Plus the idea of the I almost said the hangover. The what is it? What did he say? The cliffhanger. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. The cliffhanger part. Like, I actually had an idea about that the other day. Like, I would love to see a movie like a Jurassic movie that ends with somebody being stuck on the island, and we have to deal with those ramifications later on. And I think that would be a really cool way. And that's kind of like that's what we got out of like Camp Cretaceous and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I would like to see that idea explored like in live action and in the movies. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yep. Some
Yeah.
ideas.
So, Johnny, thank you so much. Love it, and
Hey,
hope to
Brad,
hear from you again
aka
soon.
Jurassic
This
Park
next
Podcast.
one,
This is Tanya
another
from
new one here,
Chicago,
comes from
and I
Tanya.
wanted to
Let's take
give
a listen.
my quick review of Jurassic. I just saw it this weekend 2 of it coming out, and overall, I'm really happy with the movie. I really enjoyed it. The couple of notes I had was the pace. I really loved that it was a fast pace. That's kind of like what I'm looking for nowadays in the Jurassic movies, I really want it to be a thrill-seeking, like, adventure. And it definitely delivered on that. So that was really satisfying. Definitely reminded me of the original just in terms of that formula. Obviously nothing's ever gonna come close to the original. But yeah, just a fast pace, very happy with that they did that. The music was amazing. I'm looking forward to hearing the soundtrack. I wanted to wait till after the movie to hear that. The special effects was amazing. I thought the director did such an amazing job just scaling the dinosaurs and showing the island and all that. I thought it was really great. Another note, it did not feel like 2 hours. That's another big compliment, I would say, is, I know it's a little over 2 hours, like 2 hours, 5 minutes, but it didn't feel like 2 hours. It just zipped by, which is really good. So yeah, overall really happy. I'm looking forward to looking into the canon and Easter eggs. I definitely saw some, but I want to double check if I missed any, and hopefully not let it ruin the movie with the canon. But just in terms of this being the first of many movies, I'm happy that this was just, very entertaining, thrilling movie. Only critiques I could possibly have, really don't have a ton at the moment. I would say, I know in the beginning of the movie they said, oh, the general public is over dinosaurs. They're getting bored. I'm like, really? Come on, people. And then the only other thing, just as a consumer, some of the best moments of the movie that I really enjoyed came from the trailers. And so I wish there was a way that, I guess nowadays you just gotta, I don't know, really try to get people to see the movie so I get it, but I was like, oh, there were still some other awesome scenes, obviously, but some of my favorite ones were really from the trailer. And I'm like, man, I wish there was a way that I could have not seen that, but that's not possible. Like the T-Rex scene, obviously, the river raft scene, that was such a big deal, and I know it's from the original and everything, the book, the novel, and you probably can't keep that a secret, but like that was an awesome scene. It would have been so cool to have been surprised by that. But yeah, that's all I got. That is all I can say for now, but thanks for
Oh, and it cut off. Thank you, Tanya. Appreciate the voicemail there. And yeah, I love everything you said there about the pace of the movie. For me, the pace it felt like it dragged a little bit in the beginning, but then once they like really get into gear on their way to the island and everything on the island, everything feels so kinetic and so fast. Jen, did you like the pace? Did you have any weird issues with anything like that, or did it move fast for you?
The parts that usually slow for me are when it's the family bits or the little kid bits or the touching moments, and actually that did not bother me. When they were on the boat, even multiple viewings, you kind of pick up on things that you're like, okay, now we're going to slow down a little bit because I know exactly what happens. But even with that bit, with their boats and the family stuff, it didn't slow it down for me at all. But when who is it? Scarlett Johansson and the other guy are doing their talk about their personal lives and all of that. That slowed it down for me multiple
Mhm.
times because I'm like, we're just still talking about people we don't know, situations we don't know, situations and people that have nothing to do with the movie. Like if they're talking about their personal lives that affect what they're doing, sure, but it was just too random and too long. So that was an issue. I think that if I have to make a critique, that's a critique, but I'm surprised that the rest of it was fine. Like the rest of it, normally with the kid stuff, the family stuff, I get a little, okay, I've seen this already, but it didn't bother me multiple viewings. So that's a compliment for it.
Yeah, and Tanya mentions the fact that people are bored of dinosaurs or don't want to see anything
Oh,
about dinosaurs. Like that is so annoying to me just because like why would that be the case? Like we're not people still go to zoos. People are excited about
hmm
dinosaur or animals. My headphones just died. Bear with me. Do some talking while I find some headphones.
Okay, well, I could talk about that situation, the animal thing, because that's a conversation that me and Josh even had. Like he's like, people still go to savannas and people still travel to Africa and people still go to zoos and they still like seeing the animals. Like, so that's not something that anyone's sick of, like even rare animals and such. So I mean, that's definitely I don't like that argument either.
Okay.
And they were touching on that, with Jurassic
I have
World. And they're like,
headphones.
oh,
Can I
people
hear
are
you?
bored by dinosaurs. I'm rolling this
No,
show
I
for
can't
you.
hear you.
How all right, I'm starting to keep going. So in Jurassic World, how they were saying people were bored with dinosaurs and they had to create the Indominus. They're trying to roll with that idea and they're rolling it again here. And I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true in any capacity or in real life. How are we doing? We're still working. Okay. I
Here we
made
go.
all my points.
I hear
I
you
made
now.
all my points.
I hear
I
you.
rolled the show. You're welcome. I filled it.
I appreciate that, Jen. Thank you so much for saying all those things.
My opinion was amazing.
Well, I don't really like these headphones. They don't really sound good, but okay, well, we're going to roll with it. But yeah,
We've been rolling.
we've been rolling. What were we talking about? We were talking about being bored of dinosaurs, right?
Yes. And I just gave you a whole expert reason
Okay.
of all of it.
Perfect. We'll move on from there. The trailers, I feel like the trailers are, they're way too much. And it's really tough being in like this position where you have to like comment on everything and post everything. So I have a hard time with that because I like kind of have to view everything, but I don't want to view everything because they definitely gave it all away. Were you keeping up on the trailers ahead of the movie?
Old Josh was showing me some stuff, but he was knowing what not to show me as well. So luckily I was not spoiled by much at all because I watched the first trailer
Nice.
and then after that it was just he would know what to show me and what not to show me and what was like safe to show me and stuff. So I kind of had a filter there. But I remember in our Fallen Kingdom time, even our Dominion time, I think more Fallen Kingdom, they gave everything away and we had to follow all of it. And that was really sad for us. In your opinion, was it that bad, this one, as Fallen Kingdom was? I remember that really gave everything away.
Yeah, and I've been commenting about like how it relates to that very much so because I remember when we got out of the theater seeing Fallen Kingdom for the first time because I saw that with you for the first time and we were there with Chris as well and like the three of us were out there talking about like like I liked the movie personally, but I know you two had more issues with it and you struggled. We all kind of struggled with how much they gave away. And I think this movie did exactly that same amount, maybe more, who knows, but it felt like every major set piece was kind of explored, with the raft sequence, the boat sequences. I mean, we saw the D-Rex, we saw the beginning, we saw the end D-Rex. So it's like you saw a lot of that stuff already. And the Mutadons were really heavily focused on. They showed that convenience store sequence a lot in behind the scenes stuff. So it felt like everything was really explored for the most part,
That's a shame. But like, what do you do though? Because you do have to get people interested and you can't just say, trust us, it's good.
Yeah.
You have to actually show something. And and when you only have like so many moments, I don't know, where you have like 10 scenes, 11 moments, like really good ones, like sequences or whatever. I mean, you have to flip them in somewhere, I guess. Yeah, that's a hard line for all movies, really.
Yeah. Now I lost what I did with my other headphones. I was going to charge them, but then I realized I left them across the room. But thank you, Tanya. We're going to move on to an email here. This one comes from James. It says, "Hi, Brad. My name is James. I'm age 8 from Crosshaven in Ireland. I'm a huge fan of the podcast. Listen to it at any opportunity I have. I am really looking forward to Rebirth. I hope you enjoy going to theater, and I can't wait to hear your episode all about it. My favorite dinosaur is Velociraptor Blue and Rexy from Jurassic World. I'm sorry about this, Brad, but my favorite movie is Jurassic World, as I know it's your least favorite." Hey, James, I'm cutting into this email. That's not my least favorite, by far. Like it's not. Jurassic Park 3. Sorry, Jen.
I know. It's so good. It's fine.
Going on here,
Amazing.
It says, "My favorite thing about it is they made the genetic hybrids, and I love the way we only saw Rexy in the final battle." And it says, "So I wanted to tell you this next thing to see what you think. My friend Kian thinks that Rexy from all the Jurassic movies is a total weakling because he always needs to be saved, or she always needs to be saved. I told him that she is not a weakling, but this is what they do in the movies to make us think that she's about to die when she fools us by being victorious. If you get the chance, please say hi to me on the podcast." James. Hi, James.
Hi.
So Jen, Are you gonna let James down, or are you gonna like let his friend down? Like, who are you gonna let down? Is Rexy a total weakling?
Okay, I have 2 points here. One point is James was not alive when we started this podcast, so that's mind blowing.
Right.
I know. So that alone, he wasn't even born.
Oh.
We are older. Our podcast is older than him.
Yeah.
Okay, so my second point is, listen, this dinosaur is an old lady by the time Jurassic World comes along.
Yeah.
And so and she makes it. She's good. She's tired. Who isn't? But she makes it, and I that's commemorable. That's good. I don't think she's a weakling. I mean, she saved them in Jurassic Park. Like, no, I don't think so at all. I think, as I agree with James in that it's just an emotional pull that they put in the movie, so your heartstrings get sad and you're like, oh no, is this the moment? And then of course it's not. It's just a plot point there. But no, this old lady is tired and she's doing good. She's not weak. She's just tired and old. I understand. I relate.
But enough about yourself. No, sorry.
Let me talk about the T-Rex now.
I don't think Rexy's a weakling. I think that they like James said, it's like they're trying to make you feel like really sympathetic towards the dinosaur to make make that victory feel a lot more powerful. But like if you think about it, in like Fallen Kingdom, there was a big moment where Rexy just kind of plows in and just wrecks the Carnotaurus, like throws it to the ground and then pushes it away later on in the movie. So no weakling status in that movie, I don't feel like. And then Dominion, it's like it's not in its own like territory, so it's kind of stepped into the Giga's territory, so it kind of has to back down from the fight. But then, yeah, of course, like both in Dominion and Jurassic World, there is the moment where like the Rex is like down for the count, but then comes back. But like I personally love those moments, and I love to see that like you can't knock Rexy down. You know, that Rexy's going to get back and fight harder than ever, and I really love that about Rexy. So I'm with you, James.
And I mean, we've had how many discussions on this is the movie that the dinosaur dies. This is the movie it dies.
Yeah.
This is the movie we all cry over this dinosaur dying. We've had so many of these instances, and this dinosaur has not died. It might still be alive. I don't know. They might bring it back. Who knows? But I mean, we've counted it out, and it's not. So that's not a weak dinosaur.
No, not at all. But yeah, James, go tell your friend Kian that Rexy is awesome. It's the coolest dinosaur,
Old,
one of my
tired, but
favorites.
strong.
Yes, old, tired, but strong. So thank you, James.
That's right.
Appreciate it. This next email comes from Alex. It says, "Hi, Brad. I saw the post that you were doing a new episode of the Mailbag and wanted to get my thoughts in on Jurassic World Rebirth because me and my friends spent hours talking about it. First, I love the new additions to the dinosaurs in the franchise, such as the hidden species during the Quetzalcoatlus egg sequence, the Anoraganthus. I don't know how to say that.
Reading. Here we go.
Here's the reading part of the show. The Aragonthrathris is the reason they find the tunnel that saves their lives later when the Ketz comes back. The Titanosaurus was my least favorite. Or no, I'm sorry, not least. Where did I get that word from? My brain. The Titanosaurus was my favorite due to the size and how in the theater it felt like a gentle giant. I also have a theory for the Mutodons and Distortus Rex because I believe that the Mutodon is a mix of Ketz and Raptor, and the Distortus Rex is Titanosaurus mixed with T-Rex from what I can tell. Anyway, I hope there are more mailbags to come with Chaos Theory Season 4 in November, and I wish you all the best and cannot wait to watch this episode." Thank you, Alex. Appreciate that. If you didn't know, Alex, I read so good. I'm really good at it. I'm really good at reading. So if you like the Mailbag, get used to it because I'm so flawless when it comes to reading. Especially dinosaur names. If you want me to read dinosaur names, I'm like, yo, I'm the best at pronouncing these things. So that and Norognathus, whatever that was. I think, is that green thing that like kind of pops out of nowhere? And it's like a little fly guy, I believe. Maybe I'll have to Google that. But I love that thing.
Okay, yeah, I don't
And
know.
it definitely kind of like leads the way for them. Yeah, it is.
Wait.
It's that little guy, that little green guy. It looks like a little lizard thing with wings.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
yeah. Okay.
so yeah, that guy looks cool. And I wish well, thank you, Alex, for telling me what that was because I had no idea. I did see like a graphic today or so that had like a bunch of the different species. But during the movie, there's like so many random species and random, not even dinosaurs, but just weird creatures. And I love that about that. I love that the island really came to life with all this different stuff that I've never seen before. So I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, the Ket sequence was awesome. Titanosaur was really cool. And the Mutodons and Distortus being this mix of like Kets and Raptor and then Titanosaur and T-Rex. I totally get that. I jive with that too. I think that's a good call there. What do you think, Jen?
Is the D-Rex, Titanosaurus, and T-Rex, like, is that real? Is that true? Or is that just
Who knows?
guess?
Who knows? We
Okay.
don't know. So if
Because
you
it's
remember, at the Q&A, Perry Nemiroff, who did the Q&A, she went to
mm-hmm.
ask Gareth about that, and she's like, "So, what is it made of? You know, like what's in the DNA of this dinosaur?" Like trying to get the answer out of them about like for real, like in your movie, what did the scientists make it, from? And then he just went into the answer of like, oh, it was made from an alien and the Rancor from Star Wars, and
Yeah.
it was like, no, that's not the answer we wanted. We wanted, was this Indominus based? Was this something else? Like where did this come from? Was it Titanosaur? So yeah, I would love to know more about those species. The Mutodon's obviously like a more easier one to kind of understand, but the Distortus is definitely a confusing one. And they didn't even say the name Distortus in the movie. It wasn't even written down or
No,
anything. It was just D-Rex. So
no.
who knows what's
It
going
looks
on
like
there.
it looks like a beluga whale to me. A beluga whale
Hmm.
T-Rex.
Dude,
That's my guess.
if that thing came out of the jungle just going, ooh, like just doing that thing from Finding Dory.
Talking like Dory, yeah.
Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
would have been
That'd be
hilarious.
cute. That'd be weird. But it's I don't know. I like it though. I just don't know what it is, and I guess they don't know what it is. That's probably the honest answer. Alien and this, like that's probably is the honest answer. They didn't think about like
Mhm.
in lore what it is. And it doesn't make
Yeah.
sense in lore. It doesn't look like anything other than a beluga whale. And I guess that's not it. So it's yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think they thought that through.
And I think you kind of like nailed it before when you said like about like the future of the movies and stuff, what Frank Marshall was feeling. You're like, you don't have any idea. You're just making something up off the top of your head. Like that's kind
Yeah.
of what like a lot of the behind the scenes for this movie feels like to me. It's like you don't really know what you're doing here, just kind of making it up as you go along. And I mean, like it's okay
That's
because it came out to
yes.
be a good movie, but like the hardcore stuff that you want to really discuss and talk about doesn't always make a lot of sense. But the movie itself,
Oh,
lots of fun.
that whole Q&A was like, oh, we showed up one day and we had to have a dinosaur made, so we just drew one on a napkin and they made a toy. That's the whole Q&A. Like we don't know. We don't know. We need something, so we'll just draw it up and throw it in and hope it works. Like there was no long-term planning of let's make this and this dinosaur and how these come together. It was just like, well, let's just make something really cool that looks like a toy and will work on screen. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like what the whole Q&A felt like.
And that was what they said. Like they said that Mattel showed up like day one and wanted some designs, and they were like, "We don't. What do you mean?" Like, so yeah,
I know.
that's too funny. But yeah, thank you, Alex. Let's move on to a voicemail here. Now this one dates back to March 2024, before I think just before the Gareth Edwards announcement. So let's take a listen to Daniel.
Hi, fellow Jurassic Park fans. This is Daniel calling in from Los Angeles, California. I just wanted to share my elation for the Gareth Edwards announcement along with like-minded folks. As a Star Wars fan as well, Edwards has made the best Star Wars movie since the Disney takeover, and I think that is something that's indisputable, and I fully expect him to do the same thing with this new Jurassic Park movie. There's a ton of material available from the Crichton novels in addition to the fresh ideas that today's writers can come up with. I'm excited and ready to hear more as it comes out. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you, Daniel. I know this was a little while back, but I appreciate you calling in and talking about Gareth Edwards and I wanted to include this too because it still works, and I still feel like it's exciting to talk about like how much I still appreciate Gareth Edwards, even though he maybe didn't like dive super deep into the lore. I still appreciate like what he put on the screen because it looked beautiful. And like Daniel said, like he produced one of probably my favorite Star Wars movie with Rogue One, and Godzilla is incredible, and Daniel nailed it on the head with like there's moments from the novels that you could pull out and put into this movie, and I'm like, yeah, he did those things. He did a bunch from like The Lost World and from Jurassic Park, with the river raft scene. So good on you, Daniel. You really nailed it there. Thank you for the voicemail. Jen, do you have any thoughts on Gareth Edwards?
No, I never heard of him, and I don't watch Star Wars. So
wait,
once again,
you
I'm
have heard of him though.
useless.
He sat right in front of you during the Q&A.
I mean, beforehand.
Oh, okay.
Beforehand.
So yeah.
I heard
Well,
of him now.
let's pretend it's March 2024, and we're like, all right, Jen, do you know who Gareth Edwards is?
Wait, what year are we in?
It's 24. Yeah, last year.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, I have never heard of him, and I don't watch Star Wars. Now, if we go ahead to 2025, I took a picture of him with him and Josh.
Yes.
So I took a picture of him. I took
him.
that picture.
He said cheers to me as he walked by. He pointed at my son and he said cheers, and he headed out of the theater. So, yeah.
He looked extremely overwhelmed as I took his picture.
He looked overwhelmed, and I feel like Frank had to hit the bathroom on the way out because he like sprinted out of the theater. So it was an interesting Q&A, but I appreciated them for taking some time. All right, so Daniel, thank you so much. This next one, I believe this is Mateus. This is an email, and it says 8 out of 10, peak cinema, but retcons galore. Holy cow. First, let's get the main retcon out of the way. Why is the Mosasaurus the same one from the Jurassic World trilogy, but they made it like Biosyn made it, or even Manticore, or anything but like that? I don't get that. But all right, I think you mean like, why didn't they make it from Biosyn or Manticore? Moving on, it says, now the positives, and man, there are a lot of them. First of all, 3 leads are incredible. I like Zora because she suffers from PTSD. We kind of explore that a little bit, and how she didn't go to her own mother's funeral. Like, that's just sick. Who would do that? Now she has so much guilt, which I love for her character. And Duncan, wow, I really like his arc. He lost his kid, and he makes up for it by saving Isabella in return. I just love his connection to Zora too, as they're both mercenaries and definitely have a bad last outing. Now, Dr. Henry Loomis is the man. It's so cool to have another paleontologist finally, and Jonathan Bailey is peak casting for the role he gives. So much depth to that character, and I love it. And the scene with the Titanosaurus was just incredible acting from him. Now, the dinosaurs were incredible. They looked amazing, especially the T-Rex and Mosasaurus. I love the raft scene. Both boat scenes with the family's yacht and Duncan's boat were incredibly shot. The Quetzalcoatl scene was great too. The gas station, abandoned lab ending scene with both the D-Rex and Mutodons was so well done. Family was great as well. I like all of them, especially Xavier, as he has some hilarious moments, especially when he is peeing with the Mutodons, giving the Raptors the T-Rex treatment from 2001. And the Delgados are especially great. Ruben and Isabella. I found Teresa to be underused a bit, though. Martin Krebs is a great villain. You've obviously got to have your rich billionaire villain, and I love how Teresa was threatening to kill him after not saving her. I found that cool. This is definitely one of the more scarier Jurassic movies, adding some horror elements alongside some cool deaths. My favorite death was either, spoilers, Martin Krebs or Leclerc. It would be Bobby's, but I think his character was just underused for sure. All in all, fantastic experience. Jurassic World Rebirth has its flaws, but it is an incredible Jurassic film. It's my 3rd favorite. So there you go, Mateus. Thank you so much. Nice long email there. And let's see, what can we dive into here?
There's a lot there.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Mosasaurus real quick. Did you have any thoughts on that? Because to me, when they start to talk about it inside the boat, they're like, well, InGen tagged this mosasaur and they've been tracking it. And then when we bought the information from InGen, we started tracking it or whatever. So, and then
Mhm.
they mentioned that it escaped. So, in your mind, it's kind of leading you to believe that, hey, this is the Jurassic World, Mosasaurus that escaped and they tracked it this whole time. Um, it doesn't have to be, I guess, but based off what they're talking about in the movie, it really feels like they're leaning into it being the same Mosasaurus. Did you have any feeling either way about like the way it looked versus the potential history of it?
I mean, why does it look different? Because just by looking at it, you could tell it's not the same. So no matter what they say, anyone with eyes, yeah, that's not the same. So I don't know why they changed it. Like, I don't know why they just didn't go with it being the same. That would have been a cooler thing to do. It would have connected it well. So I don't know why it's a different one. I don't believe it's the same one. And if they want to tell me it's the same one, I don't believe them because they didn't make it look the same. So I know how my Josh has a lot of thoughts on the Mosey. And okay, so here's a question. They they brought, and he showed me this, and I might be reciting this wrong, but there was like pictures of the set or something, and like pictures of the set or something, and
hmm
there's the thing about the real mosasaurs dying, right?
So there is a picture of like some fishermen, like I believe like on a dock or something like that. And it looks like a very old photo, like it's been there for like ages, not just 5 years. But and there is like it looks like the same Mosasaurus from Jurassic World. Whether it is or not, I think it's been confirmed that it was not supposed to be that one
Okay.
since then. So I don't know. I mean,
So where is the real one at then? Like, shouldn't he be tagged or she be tagged still?
yeah. Well, it's very
Why are they
confusing
not
because
following that one?
even in the movie, if you just take the movie on like on the surface level, what you see in that movie, they don't really give you a ton of information. And I'm not talking about like going off of some, artist's Instagram post or whatever that has all these random pictures and things. But like there are two signals that pop up in that mosasaur scene, but it's never really fully explained as far as like what you're supposed to be reading into that. I don't know if you remember, but there's like they see the one like number pop up, and then they're like, "Oh, there's a second signal," and it's like right next to that other signal. But then they just kind of move on from that, and they don't really say
Oh yeah.
what happened there.
Mhm.
So I don't know like what the deal is, like what they were trying to get across with that. Um, Personally, I think this new mosasaur like looks great. Like it looks fantastic. I would love it if that was just the mosasaur. I know a lot of like friends have been saying like that follow fish and know about fish say that well fish change over the course of their lives and they end up looking different. They're in the
Mm,
water all the time. And
I
I'm like,
don't
okay.
know. I'm not buying that.
I could
Lies.
kind of
Okay.
I could kind of buy into that a little bit and I think I can accept it, but like it's still in the back of my mind I know that this is just some flub, that they just didn't necessarily care to get it accurate to what we've seen before, and they just thought, well, because there is like a behind the scenes thing with I think David Vickery who said like, well, this was our chance to really like redesign things and think about how we want to get them to look more like their counterparts like in real life. And I'm like, well, that's the problem right there. You just decided, oh, let's change it. Let's just change it. Like that was about
Yeah.
the extent of the conversation. So I feel like that's the main issue there as far as why things look different.
Now, was the second signal one of the Spinosauruses? Because that's because when you're watching it, you're like, oh, where's this gonna go? Then it kind of just goes away and it never is brought up again. But then there's Spinosauruses like
Mhm.
around there. So that I guess maybe my brain just went that was one of the Spinos
Yeah, it could
because it was
be.
following it.
It very well could be. That's kind of what I've been taking away from it as well, is maybe it was just a Spinosaur bouncing off the other signal or something. But there
Hmm.
is only one other signal, so it's not like there's like four other signals or however many
I
Spinos there
know.
were.
Well, then here in my head, I'm sitting, well, maybe they weren't able to track the other ones. Maybe that's just the one that they tracked, or maybe the battery ran out in the other trackers. So this
Mm.
is where I am with it.
Yeah, and we know I don't think a mosasaur could do it, but like we know the Indominus clawed out its tracker, that,
Hmm.
and so we have like these context clues of like we saw a tracker in the Indominus, so we know that InGen is tracking these dinosaurs, and we know based off of like Fallen Kingdom that they were tracking Blue, and we know that Mills had that information somehow, but Parker Genix, I think, says that they buy the information from InGen. So like I don't know when that happened, and like why does Mills have the information that he needs for Blue, but like it's all very confusing, and it's just like they didn't do their cross-referencing enough to really understand what's going on here.
Well,
So
I guess anybody with money can buy that, apparently. It's like you don't have to have any qualifications. Just if you
yeah,
can afford it, you get the information.
I guess so. But appreciate the email there, Mateus. And I don't know if there was anything else. Everything you mentioned was pretty good, pretty spot on there. Everything's incredibly well shot, and I do really like the family. I think the family's pretty great, and definitely the Mutadons definitely gave the Raptors the T-Rex treatment from Jurassic Park 3. When I had the conversation with Jay Jurassic right after seeing the movie for the first time, I was like, "Oh my God, you're right! Like that is straight up what the Spinosaur did to the T-Rex." It's like, here comes the new bad guy coming in to destroy the old bad guy. And that's what they did with the raptor in this movie. So that was kind of wild. Were you sad to not see any raptors here?
That was my next sentence. A little. I mean, I didn't think about it and I didn't miss it too much until there was one on the screen. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about those. Like that would be that. Here we go. Oh, it's over. They're gone. Not to come back. Okay. But yeah, I think I would have liked more. I thought I had raptor fatigue, but after seeing one, especially the design of them, I'm really a fan of that design. I realized I was not fatigued, and then I was sad because they didn't come back.
Yeah.
So,
well, let's move on to another one here. We have a voicemail. This one goes back to June 2024, and this is from Nate. What's up, Nate?
Hello, Brad. This is Nate. Well, my name is Nate. I just listened to your full spoiler episode discussing the Camp Cretaceous chaos theory, and I noticed a few things that you guys kind of left out and maybe just missed that I'd like to point out for you. So you guys were talking about Bumpy and her new egg. I think they did a very good job with that scene, actually. And I liked kind of the suspense when you thought she died a little bit. But so actually later on in episode 10, I believe it was, you can see when they're loading up that crate and they say we have to get something to the broker or heads will roll. I believe you can see Bumpy's egg in that scene. Actually, I believe they took Bumpy's egg. I'm not sure, but it looks like Bumpy's egg was in that crate heading to the broker for that one. And then I just had a couple of other points I wanted to point out. So where was it? So I was listening to you guys, and I believe it was Jurassic Tom. I believe it was talking about how they were marking the dinosaurs as deceased before they moved them out, and I thought that was really smart, and that's something that would definitely happen if they wanted to avoid suspicion. Is they would definitely mark a dinosaur as deceased and then try to get it out. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys. So yeah. Well, thanks for listening. Bye.
Thank you, Nate. So I wanted to throw this in there because I wanted to talk a little bit about chaos theory. Now, you, Jen, mentioned you don't watch any of the animated stuff, right?
no, we haven't seen that Camp Cretaceous stuff since maybe the second season. I don't even know if we finished it. And I know the chaos theory, all that. I've heard of all this stuff, but I have not seen any of it. I'm useless again.
So Josh doesn't even watch this stuff? He's not into it?
No, he's not. And we actually had a conversation about that. I know. And we feel really guilty about it. Especially he feels really guilty about this because we've had the conversation of him being like, I'm not into it. He likes the movies. Like, I'm just not, I like the idea. I like that they're making stuff, but yeah, he has no real desire to watch it either. And yeah, he's just a movie guy.
So you said like Camp Cretaceous, right? You didn't even dip into chaos theory then.
No, I know it
Wow.
exists, but no,
I
I have
just
not watched it.
that's I always tried to like convince people to watch the shows, and especially with you guys with the kids, like
I
I
know.
know
My
my
kids
kids.
hate dinosaurs.
Do they really? Is it just did you try to
Yes,
force them on them like too
yes.
much?
I mean, maybe with Wyatt we did. We probably forced a lot since that was the first one, and
Yeah.
he has no care. He's like, "Oh," like when he sees a dinosaur, he's like, "Daddy, look, that's yours. There's your thing. There's your dinosaur." Like he gets real excited for Daddy to have the dinosaur.
That's too funny.
Noah enjoys them. I mean, he might have some hope. He's not in enough to watch a show or anything. He kind of loses interest in them in that way, but he likes playing with them, sorta. Not I mean, we'll see. He has the
Yeah.
most hope, but the hope is low for both, honestly.
Yeah, I wonder if I went too hard initially as well because like I have so many dinosaur toys and they don't play with a single one of them. They don't care about them really at
Yeah.
all. And I think Mattel makes some really great stuff, and they don't really care to play with them at all ever. I've really tried to get them to play with them, but it doesn't really work that way. But I will say that they were into the movies. They've watched the movies with me. They've seen the shows with me, and they are really into Bumpy. So like Bumpy's definitely one of those things that like is a big part of I guess as a kid you just get really excited seeing this other little baby dinosaur. So when you get to see Bumpy kind of move along in life and you get to see this egg and you wonder what's going on with this egg, where's it going? And then we find out a little bit longer. I won't spoil it all for you, but I think it's really interesting and it's a lot of fun. And I think the show is like really well done and it ties into the movie so well for the most part. There are some confusing elements, but I feel like you guys would really like it, especially Josh knowing loving all the movie connections. I think he would be
Mhm.
really into it. But Nate mentioned something about like marking the dinosaurs as dead. There was a part in that show that like they're trying to like move dinosaurs around the planet and stuff, and in order to do that, they have to mark them as dead and deceased so that they can like move them without other people knowing. And I think that was a really cool part of that season. Obviously, the show's progressed a bit since then, and Bumpy's like egg has become a big detail of that show and what happens there. And I love this. I love the show. And I wanted to follow that up with another comment here. This one actually came from YouTube. Somebody wrote over on YouTube and said, this is from Tyler, and it says, "Are you excited for Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 4? And I am. I'm very much excited for that show. Jen is not at all. But I am. I'm very excited. And I feel like maybe I don't know if you can sympathize with this, but like it's been so weird having Chaos Theory go and be so tied to Dominion, right? It's really so tied to that movie and that progression of the story. And then to have Rebirth, now in the middle of it all, just like pretend that Dominion doesn't even matter or doesn't exist. And then we get to go back to that world of Dominion, in season 4. And I'm excited to kind of get back to that timeline. So I'm very excited to kind of revisit that all and get back to the way things were before Rebirth came around. I like Rebirth, but like it feels like it loses all the lore and doesn't really connect those
Mhm.
dots that the previous 3 films did for me. So I'm excited to dive back into that. So if you're feeling like maybe Rebirth didn't connect fully for you or whoever out there, maybe dive into the Chaos Theory show because it's really doing a great job of staying in that world just a little bit longer.
Okay, so you proved my point excellently on why it feels so Jurassic Park 3, because Jurassic Park 3 doesn't connect anything really
Mhm.
either. Not that much anyway. And it's called the same level of connecting even. So that's another point of why it feels like Jurassic Park 3 to me. But I have to say, with those shows and stuff, the little cartoons, if they ever make an Evolution of Claire cartoon or like something like that, turn that book into a mini series, I'm there. I'm in it. I love my baby. I will watch that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, during the first season, we really wondered, like, okay, why is there not a Claire and Owen crossover here? Why are we not getting that? They never showed up in the Camp Cretaceous show. Um, and it's gonna happen potentially again. Like, we're gonna be talking about that a lot. Like, where are these characters? we're going to have a lot of crossover experience here. Like, where is everybody? So I'm interested to know if Claire or Owen or anybody like that, Maisie, shows up in this 4th season, because we're going to be so closely tied to what happened in Dominion that, like, I don't know how you avoid those characters. So I would be interested in seeing them show up for one last time.
Hey, if they do, let me know. I want to see that.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
I'm
sure
not following it.
you'll know right
Just
away.
let me know.
But thank you to Nate and to Tyler there for some Chaos Theory comments. But I want to move on to a voicemail here from Nico. So what's up, Nico?
Hey everyone, this is Ario once again here from Phoenix, Arizona.
That's not Nico.
Once again, I love you guys.
I must have clicked the wrong one. Where is Nico's voicemail? Where did Nico go? Let's see.
I love
maybe
the mailbag
yeah,
for these
I
things
know, right?
alone.
Okay, here's Nico. I found Nico. I put the wrong voicemail in there twice. Here we go. Here's Nico.
Hey, Brad. Hey, Jennifer. This is Nico from Boston. I have a comment and a question. Comment is, I kind of wish that they didn't lump Rebirth in with the World trilogy, just because I feel like they have really like nothing to do with those.
Hey, can I pause this for a second? Jen, this always happens to us. Like when we start getting on these tangents and start going down like these rabbit holes, and then somebody follows it up with an exact
Isn't it creepy?
voicemail of what we were talking about. That's so weird. Why does that happen all the time?
I know. Every time.
Movies? Yeah, I wouldn't have minded something like Jurassic Legacy, maybe. Would have been cool. Question is, what do you want from these next 2 films or set of movies? What would you like to see? And would you like to see Chris Pratt and, oh my God, Bryce Dallas Howard returning? I think that would be kind of cool. But yeah, thanks. Bye.
Nico, what's up? Dude, that's hilarious that those tied. I did not know that that's what that was going to be about. And we tied that in so perfectly already. So, yeah, well, I want to go back to the beginning of that voicemail because it doesn't. It's such a weird movie because they talk about this being the original research facility for the research facility for the original park, and like to me and a lot of other people, that's like Jurassic Park, right? And it would have worked, I think, so well as like a follow-up to JP3 if you just shifted a little bit of things here, and it would have really felt like a good sequel before Jurassic World. It could have worked well. So to me, it feels like it works well in that timeline. But they tried to like force Jurassic World upon it in a way, and it didn't fully mash up the exact way that of everything that we see in Jurassic World. So it felt also a little disconnected from that movie and that set of movies. So it's kind of in its like own weird place at the moment. And the best way I've always described it now is that like it feels like I don't know, like a tangent or like a alternate universe in a way. Like it's not really, it's kind of like the Jurassic universe, but it's like it's a little bit askew and doing things a little bit differently. So where do you feel like it fits most for you, Jen?
Yeah, I mean, like I keep saying, it's the Jurassic Park 3 of if he knows there's 2 more movies, he could tell the future. But if there's another trilogy or whatever, it's the Jurassic Park 3 of that trilogy, and it's so bizarre to have the Jurassic Park 3 first of the 3 if that's what they're doing, because it is a Jurassic Park 3 type movie on its own. So it doesn't really hold that water that a Jurassic World or Jurassic Park would. But going back to the branding of it, like obviously it's World because of the branding. People know the brand now, and that's why, even though it doesn't make sense in the scheme of it. But even people who are new, because I have a friend, a wicked friend, who has not seen any Jurassics ever. And I'm like, start from the beginning, watch them all, and then watch Rebirth. So there was like weeks, she made it before it came out. But we started weeks ago, and she started watching them through for the first time. And she did not understand why it was part of the World franchise either. And this is a brand new viewer who knows nothing. So it's not like the casual person would be confused. but I know it's branding and all, but it would have made more sense to give it a different title. It should be separated from World. It is a Jurassic Park 3 of its own set, if it even has a set. It makes no sense to be attached how it is.
I love that. That's pretty interesting that like a new fan or somebody who just caught up on everything sees it in that same way as well.
Mhm.
I found it interesting. We did get a press release in our inbox the other day. I think I archived it already. I don't know where it is, but it was basically saying that like there was like 186% uptick in viewership of Jurassic World Dominion post Rebirth release, and they were kind of just like boosting their numbers for Peacock really in this email. But I just found that interesting that like, okay, people are now going backwards to Dominion, and they're seeing that movie maybe for the first time, maybe catching up again. And I wonder what those people are feeling about the movie. Like, are they feeling like, oh man, they just like really threw that whole storyline to the side and just like did their own thing and just said like, oh, all the dinosaurs are now dead. Like that's a sad state to live in after just like really fighting to see
Yeah.
these dinosaurs out in the wild, and then oh no, they're gone. So it's kind of a bit of whiplash there to kind of go from one to the other. So I wonder what all those people are thinking now that have just caught up on Dominion for the first time. So it's kind of
I mean,
interesting.
she had similar thoughts. Her thoughts were very interesting if I can remember any of them, but that was a similar thought of the drastic change from Dominion to this and kind of being like, oh, so we did all that and none of it really mattered kind of thing. She mentioned that. And also her ranking, Lost World is number 1 and she's still my friend. So
I gotta
okay.
give I'm standing up. This is a standing ovation for your friend.
She's probably gonna listen to this and love this, but let me see if I could find her ranking.
Heck
And this is
yes.
so irrelevant,
That's
no one
amazing.
cares. But
No, it's so relevant. Anytime anybody wants to put Lost World at number 1, we gotta bring your friend on so we can talk Wicked and the Lost World and how
oh
it's so
yeah.
great. I love that. That's amazing. And was there anything else? Oh, Nico, that was Nico, right? There was a second part to that. Do you remember what the other part was? Let me go. Let me
It
Hey,
check.
Brad.
was
Hey, and would you like to see Chris Pratt?
Oh yeah. Would you like to see them?
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, that's a good
Of
question.
course.
Of
So
course.
yeah, and if these two mystery movies that we don't really know about, if they do happen, I would love to see them come back. I think the story, you know, they deserve to be a part of the story still. I don't know if they're gonna wait another 15 years and then bring him back into the fold, like have them be like the original trio and in a bunch of years down the line. I don't know, but um, I don't know what the future looks like for characters in this franchise. I think they did like Universal made a lot of money with Twisters, kind of like doing the same thing as this in a way where it took a lot of what you knew about Twister, but like kind of threw it aside and just said like, you don't know if this movie actually exists in the timeline of Twisters. Like Dorothy exists. I don't know if do you like Twister, the movie?
No.
No. Okay. So, they have this big machine that could capture the tornadoes, like spin and give them the ability to like predict tornado warnings like a little bit earlier than usual. So they have that same system in the new movie, but like it's never really discussed at like how it got passed on. So I feel like they tried to do like the same kind of thing like they did with Twisters. They made a lot of money. There's no like returning cast members or anything. And they wanted to do that here, it felt like, where it's just like there's a lot of similar iconography, things you might know, but like new faces, new stories. And I don't know if they're really going to dive back into that and give us like, oh, here's Ian Malcolm again. I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't know if they're going to give us Bryce and Chris. I would love it if they did, but I just don't know that I see it happening. Do you?
I mean, not anytime soon. And honestly, my whole problem, like with Claire, they made her so irrelevant by the end. They just kept taking away any power she had for some reason and gave her zero power and zero relevancy at all, where she didn't even need to be in Dominion and it wouldn't have mattered. So I cannot see her having any value, sadly, as a character in future franchises. She holds no power, she holds no value. She's like a nobody now. So I just don't know how you could ever bring her back unless they do something with Owen and she's like attached to him. But Claire is a character. They made her nothing to the point where she has no relevancy in the franchise anymore. But if they do bring them back, and they probably will just for like fanfare, it will be so far in the future. I mean, they'll be 50 years old, like where we are with Dominion. Like they'll be old. It'll be a while. Unless they really are desperate and want to capitalize on it, I don't know. Hey, Bryce is like almost 50. Sorry.
I was gonna
Maybe
say,
that's soon.
I'm like, they're not that far
60
away, are
maybe.
they?
60 maybe.
60.
She's
Okay.
45, 44, 45. Oh
Okay.
God.
All right.
I'm not invested anymore. Sorry. 44, 45, something like that.
Wow, you're
But
out of the game.
so maybe like 60. I am so out. It's so bad. So maybe like 60 years old.
Let's see.
say.
How old is Chris Pratt? Chris Pratt
He's
is
a
46
year
years
older
old.
than her.
46.
So she's 45 then.
Okay.
No, she was born in 81. So she's 44.
44. Yeah, she's 44.
Yeah, she's born in 81.
Hmm.
3281.
And like Sam Neill was like 40 something, right? In the first Jurassic Park, right? So
Yeah, he's really up there now.
let's see. Sam Neill in Jurassic Park. Oh, well, it says he's 77. Yeah, okay. Oh, he was 46 in Jurassic
Oh
Park.
wow.
So, yeah. There's still time for them to come back. Might
Lowered
be
her
a few
into
years.
58. 58, 57. So she was like
She was like
mid-
24,
early.
I think, in that movie, which
Yeah.
is like, I watched Jurassic Park and I'll be like, yeah, she's still older than me, right?
But like in Dominion though, she's like 50 or mid 50s.
Yeah.
So we got about 10 more years until they bring him back.
Well,
Probably.
let's move on. Thank you, Nico. This one comes from Brandon. And where's Brandon's email? Oh, here it is. Voicemail.
Hey, Brad, it's Brandon. I've listened to your Jurassic Park podcast since 2015 when you first created it, and I've watched all the Jurassic
And this, by the way, this is from December. I don't know if I mentioned that, 2024. So a little ways back.
World movies, and I saw Dominion 2 years ago. There is a subject that I want to lay on. We already know about the history of the first island, Isla Nublar, but we have not heard the history of Isla Sorna. Now, I have not been able to get caught up on the new episodes. I don't know if you guys laid out on it or not, but I just want to know, what is Isla Sorna's history? We know that in Isla Nublar, all the dinosaurs had their own space, the paddock of the T-Rex, the 50-mile paddock, but what is the history behind Isla Sorna? Was it Hammond's idea to lay out all the dinosaurs in their own space without fences, without boundaries, or was it InGen's idea to do that? But anyways, keep up the good work, and I can't wait to hear your response back. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Brandon. Sorry it took so long for us to respond, and I'm not sure I'm going to have a great response for you here. Jen, go ahead. What's the history of Isla Sorna?
Okay, once again, I am useless on this podcast. Why am I here?
No.
Why do you keep inviting me?
Look, we have a good
I have so
time.
many questions about Isla Sorna. Isla Sorna, well, it's an island off the coast of something. Probably close to the other one.
Yeah, exactly. It's 87 miles east of Isla Nublar. But I think
There. You knew
this island is it's a confusing one because it's that island that just kind of came out of nowhere, right? It felt like it's like, well, I thought the dinosaurs were made on Isla Nublar, but okay, now they're made in this other place. This is the factory floor. And personally, I really like to just go off of what I see in the movies. Of course, there's some things you can take from video games, I guess, or you can kind of conflate the novels and the films a little bit together to kind of gather a little bit of history and stuff. But Personally, I just like to see what I see in the films, and they don't really tell us a whole lot, right? It's like kind of a mystery, and the whole fact that like the Hurricane Clarissa wiped out the island, and everybody was evacuated at that point. But like, what happened there? Like, what? I'm interested in the idea of the dinosaurs being wild as well. Like, I haven't really honestly looked into it too much about like were they like out there in the wild ahead of time, or was that more of like a hurricane issue? Um, I don't think they make it
Mm.
very clear in the movie, to be honest. It's been a while. I'll have to go back and listen to the exact dialogue, but I feel like um, yeah, here it says let's see. I don't know. But anyway, I was just looking at the summary of Isla Sorna, but it doesn't give me that information right there. But I want to know more about it, like the worker village and what's going on there, and all the especially the differences between the two movies, with the Lost World and Isla Sorna being a certain kind of biome, and then we see it in Jurassic Park 3, and it's a very different kind of biome, and there's obviously some testing and things going on there that are very much like what I always kind of assumed was happening in what we see in Rebirth. So to me, it's like we
Mhm.
just threw another island out there with Rebirth when we could have just used Isla Sorna. So do you feel like we
Yep.
could have just like given Isla Sorna some more backstory here with Rebirth, or are you cool with a brand new island with a new facility, a new original factory, or whatever it is? I don't know.
I mean, they keep throwing islands at us, and I guess you can't really go back to Sorna in this case because it's the part where they were making hybrids and stuff, and that was never a part of Sorna. And this was like Jurassic World's island that they were using, so I could see why they had to make another island. But it does feel very much like they're just throwing islands out, like, "Oh, here's another one, and you know what? If there's another movie, maybe there's another island." Like, they could just there's no bounds here, apparently. But, and that's also why I feel like this Rebirth is a mix of Jurassic Park 3 and The Lost World, because you just made another point of the, like, laboratory situation kind of feeling the same. And so yeah, you just keep making my points, by the way, for my
Hmm.
hybrid movie of what this is. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, they're probably gonna keep throwing islands. Like, you can't keep reusing them because at this point, how many years have even gone by? And that technology on Sorna and stuff, I mean, that's all old, and I don't think we'll go back to those anymore. They'll probably just keep making islands. If they make movies in 20 years from now, they'll probably just keep making islands. Like, "Oh, they used it for this," or you know what? When Rebirth was made, this island was actually they moved those dinosaurs to here, and then this company was making them here, and then make it like a new thing. So they're always gonna be adding things like that, I think.
Yeah, it's so weird that they added a new island in Fallen Kingdom and said like, okay, here's like Sanctuary Island. Now, whether that really exists or
Right.
not, I still don't really know. But like, they could have just said like, let's bring everything to Sorna or whatever, and then now like people are saying that like nothing exists on Sorna, and I'm like, I don't like this is all very confusing because like what happened in Fallen Kingdom was like, this is our last shot at survival for these dinosaurs is Isla Nublar, right? Like, so that makes you believe that there's nothing left on Sorna, that this volcano could blow up on Nublar,
Mhm.
and that would be the end of dinosaurs, right? That means there's nothing on Sorna. Because if there was, you wouldn't be so worried. I mean, like as worried about it. You wouldn't say that it's like your last chance, or the last chance for these species to survive. And it wouldn't be such a big deal. You just transport them 87 miles the other way. But that never really like was explored any further. So now, once dinosaurs have all died off, like I don't know, it's very confusing to me. As like, especially even in Fallen Kingdom, like this is our last chance, but yet all the way on this Rebirth Island, that dinosaurs do exist over there, but like we didn't care about those
Right.
ones. I'm confused now. The lore is messy, and the thing is about the lore, the Lost World and Sorna, it kind of started it all being a little bit messy, right? To me, um, just not really giving us all this information that we want to know about this island, not really ever revisiting it. And then, of course, Jurassic Park 3 just making the island feel very disconnected from what we saw previously. it's all been so rough. And it's not like this is a new thing with Rebirth changing stuff up. It just like feels like it hurts now at movie 7 a little bit more for me.
Yeah, I mean, it gets messy. It absolutely gets messy. It's been getting messy and it just keeps getting messier. So, and it probably will continue to get messy. It's just going to happen. It's just what it is as this franchise when it comes to their islands and their research facilities.
Now, we have a few more things. I do want to try to get through them quick here, but this next one is an email from Jackson, and it says, "Hello, I hope this email finds you well. I'm a fellow Jurassic fan who is pretty meh on Jurassic World Rebirth. I thought that the pretense, the story, and most of the dinosaurs were pretty good, but there were definitely a few hiccups that made it difficult to get by. After second, third showing, I got past it. I thought the Titanosaurs, not sure if it was Titanosaur is plural or not. They were interesting, but their tails were pretty cool. The Tyrannosaur was massive, and I wasn't able to tell if there was 2, like people were saying, or if it was just 1. I love the mutants. The only hiccup that I had with them was the Mutodons. The transfer from Raptor to Wing was a bit too smooth for me. I mean, that mutant part of the mutation wasn't coming out as much as I would have expected. Until next time, adios." All right, Jackson, let's see. So, 2 T-Rex? I don't know. I guess the multiple T-Rex thing came out of like rumors, as far as I know. Like people were like, "Oh, there's like another T-Rex. This is not the only one." But I think a lot of that also came out of the toys as well, because like if you look at the toys look very different from like the Rex that we see in the movie. There's like the gray Rex, and then there's the movie Rex, and then there's like the tan Rex. So there's like a lot of different versions, I think, with the new toys and graphics and stuff that they've produced. So I don't ever think there was supposed to be 2. I think it was only 1, right, Jen? I never got the sense that there was supposed to be more than 1 T-Rex in the movie.
No, I didn't know that. I didn't get a sense of that, and I didn't hear the rumors, so that I had no idea that was even a thing. I didn't get that at all.
And did you like the Mutodons, despite the Raptors, taking them out? Did you like the creature itself?
I didn't care for them. I really didn't. I didn't really like the design very much. They were in the movie a lot. I didn't find them that interesting. They weren't scary. They weren't interesting. Like, I just didn't care for them at all. It actually reminded me, like when they were in that trying to escape through the pipe and stuff. It kind of reminded me of was it the Baryonyx? Was it the Baryonyx?
Yeah.
In Fallen Kingdom, like running through, like it kind of gave me that
Same kind
vibe.
of scene.
And then they also did, the gate, like in Dominion, so it was like throwbacks there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't really care for that dinosaur or mutant or whatever he was.
I find myself doing that a lot. I'm like, dinosaur. Wait, it wasn't a dinosaur. I don't know. What was it? What are we talking about anymore? I kind of like the Mutodons. I think the design was cool, but it is absolutely just a sub for the Raptor. I would rather a Raptor, but like the Mutodons were fine for me. I thought they were cool. I want a toy of that thing. So Mattel, where are they? Let's go.
They didn't make one.
Well, they got toys of the Raptors. And where are those?
But not that one. Wow.
where are those? Yeah, come on. But yeah, I really wish that, at that point, I just kind of wish they swapped out the Raptors with the Mutodons, because that would have been cooler. I think seeing those new Raptor variants would have been pretty awesome. Yeah. But let's go to this fake Nico. I think it was Ario. If I'm pronouncing your name right, hopefully I am. But this is a fairly new email or voicemail. Let's listen.
Hey everyone, this is Ario once again here from Phoenix, Arizona. Once again, I love your guys' podcast, the Jurassic Park Podcast. I feel like it's a place where I can connect with somebody. Just a quick discussion, because I know this is a short voicemail, only 3 minutes. I don't know. I was just thinking if you'd like to discuss any ideas for what you would like to see on the new Jurassic Park video game. I know that they've already put on the trailer out. We're excited. We're waiting for that game to be released. For me, as a big Jurassic Park fan, I feel like I would love to see the area where Dr. Grant, fights the raptors and puts is it like the venom inside of the egg? The laboratory, so you can go into the visitor center, maybe roam the halls of the visitor center that get you up to where the laboratories are at, or maybe be able to get in and walk into the kitchen where the kids ate the dessert, and maybe walk through the doors where in the book, Henry Wu gets eaten by the raptor, and the raptors are trying to break in from the ceiling. There's just so many scenes from the book that just come in mind that maybe were not even shown in the original Jurassic Park movie. Being able to go where the raft scene happened, where the pteranodons were trying to eat the kids on the raft with Dr. Grant, the T-Rex paddock, the raptor. There's so many locations on that island that would be awesome for you to explore, open world kind of game. So that's what I wanted to just notate, that maybe people haven't thought about it and they just see the game as just like a basic game. But I see it more of an opportunity to have an open world game that you just literally can explore, even the docks of where the boats would leave when the storm happened, where Dennis Nedry gets eaten. There's so many areas, and like even I'm just thinking of the book when they found where all the raptor nests were at, and that they were able to get out of the caves and see the coast from after you got out of the cave. So I don't know if everybody remembers that part in the book. So yeah, honestly, let's discuss more details. Let's talk about it in the podcast and see what we would love to see in the video game. And yeah, I'm here. I would love to even maybe talk about it in more in detail. So yeah, I love your podcast as always, and once again, all the way from Phoenix, Arizona. Have a great day.
Well, thank you so much. Now, Jen, you're not much of a video gamer, right? But no. But does the idea of exploring like the original park, post movie, I guess, kind of interest you at all? Would you be tempted to pick up a controller to play that?
I mean, we've had this conversation back when Fallen Kingdom was being made, and we talked about how, we get to revisit. No, yes, that was Fallen Kingdom. How we get to revisit the park, the Jurassic World Park, after all the destruction, and are we gonna see? What are we gonna see? What pieces are we gonna see? We ended up seeing nothing except like Main Street. But I remember us having that conversation of how many cool things we could have seen. So I guess like that always interests me, like exploring the Jurassic World Park post problems. So I mean, yeah, that would pique my interest, I think, something like that.
Yeah, I think everything that he really laid out there, especially it was just mostly novel stuff. Like to me, that's like such a great route to go down. Hopefully, they really do try to touch on a lot of that stuff. The one thing that I constantly reference for everything that comes out, whether it's like Chaos Theory or the movies, the past several movies, I've been just like wanting that egg poisoning scene, like Ario mentioned there. Like I want that to happen. It's this whole scene where Grant like poisons the eggs and then like kind of tosses them to the raptors, and the raptors eat them and then die. Like that's just such a cool sequence. I would love to see that in a game, and especially in a game where you're not like just like finding guns all the time and just blasting away dinosaurs. I would like a more interesting approach to having to take out a dinosaur, and I think that would be one of them. Now, the one part that really is referenced in the trailer, it seems to be like the whole river raft scene. I don't know if you remembered, if you watched the trailer at all, but like there is a part where you see like the character is down at like the dock, and there's like the boat, and then there's raptors right there, and there might be something later on. I don't know if it was like in concept art or something, but it really references the fact that like we were gonna see this whole take on the river raft scene. Do you think now that we have that scene in Rebirth, do you think like the video game would also do that, or do you think like the video game should like steer clear of that river raft sequence?
I don't see why they wouldn't do that. I highly doubt the people creating the video game are having any conversations with the people making the movies. So, I don't. I mean, go for it. If it's probably gonna probably look cool. It probably works. I mean, I don't mind. I'm not playing it, so it doesn't affect me. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't see why not. I don't see why not at all. I'm all for that. Overlap it. Go more content.
Yeah, I could definitely see it overlapping, but like, I wonder because it felt like we were kind of full steam ahead for a little bit with this movie with the trailers, and there was a lot of concept art that came out, and then it just went like completely radio silent. And I wonder if it has to do with that river raft sequence that like they were like, oh shoot, like the movie's doing
You
this
think?
sequence. Like
See, like I said, they're not talking to each other.
yeah,
But
exactly. That's what I feel like they
yeah,
weren't
that's
talking
cool.
to each other. And then they're like,
No.
well, maybe we should retool this because the movie also did it. And we don't want to feel like we're copying the movie because we're coming out
Mm.
after the movie. So I wonder if
People
they
might
did
like it
retool it.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a shame though, because I bet people would be like, "Oh, this is like how I saw it in the movie." Like, I don't know. I think it'd be fine.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's one thing if it's like you're replaying that moment in Rebirth, if you're like actually going through the motions of Rebirth and then you get to go in the boat and escape the T-Rex, that would be cool. But like to be a copycat scene now, it would be interesting. I wonder what people would
Mm.
say. But I would still love to play that sequence and just kind of like maybe do it a little bit differently. Maybe you've got like, because in the novel, Lex has like a little cough or something that like makes it all that much scarier of a moment too, or she's trying to hold in this cough and then it just like comes out. So I wonder if you could do something along those lines because that didn't happen in Rebirth, but a lot of other stuff, felt connected. So yeah, I wonder what they could bring into this game. I just want to be able to explore. That's really, really what I want to be able to do. I want to be able to not just do a linear story where I'm like getting from point A to point B and shooting dinosaurs or whatever. I just want to like actually feel like I am living on this island and trying to get off this island. And I hope it adds to the lore in a nice way. And I hope it really ties. I hope that they're really considering everything that the first movie didn't give us, like the whatever left over from the novels. I hope they include so much in there and it really feels like this rich storytelling that, Rebirth didn't necessarily do with the history and the outside of like the raft sequence, like, but getting that
Mhm.
kind of close stuff to the original movie would be really cool. But yeah, thank you so much there. Let's move on to our last one. I'm gonna call this the last one here, and this comes from Thomas. It's an email, and it says, "Hi Brad, hi Jen. I'm a huge fan of the podcast and I've enjoyed every episode so far. My question is, what do you think about the Raptors in Rebirth being sidelined and replaced with Mutadons? I would love to
Wow.
hear your thoughts on it. Personally, for me, I'm 50-50 because I would love to see them attacking the group and be a threat. But at the same time, I feel like most of the movies have been doing that with the Raptors. And I personally feel it's nice to have a change in the franchise as we've had Raptors and T-Rex most of the time as the two main dinosaurs attacking the groups. And I feel some other dinosaurs should get a spotlight, which is why I like Dominion because it didn't have Velociraptors and T-Rex as the main antagonists, but didn't sideline them completely either, but replaced them with completely new dinosaurs, dinosaur threats instead. So yeah, well, I would love to hear your thoughts. Keep staying Jurassic. This is Tom signing off. Thank you, Tom. Or Thomas, I think.
Rewind.
Yeah. So let's go
Just
back.
rewind the podcast.
Let's go back a few minutes here because we just talked about this quite a bit. Obviously, I would have liked to have seen the Raptors over the Mutadons, but I like the Mutadons. I think they're pretty cool in themselves. But I want to touch on this other part here because we didn't necessarily touch on this. But I like the fact that like Dominion came up with new dinosaurs like to showcase like the Giga and of course it's not like the same kind of showcase that the T-Rex had in the first Jurassic Park. I feel like a lot of people compare those two moments and I'm like, I get they're trying to do the same thing with the vehicle and the animatronic Giga, and same thing with the first movie, but like I like that it's a different dinosaur. It's a different creature that is now like breathing fire because they threw the spike into its throat. Like that was cool to me, and I love the fact that they introduced um what are they? The Atrociraptors and the
Mhm.
Pyroraptor as well. Like I really like the Atrociraptor as like the new scary Velociraptor, kind of carrying over from the previous movies where it was always Velociraptor, but now it's something different, Atrociraptor. And I really like them, and they're a really big feature of Chaos Theory, the TV show. So that's also why I love that show too, is because they carry those over from that movie into the show, and they're terrifying in that show. So I like the idea of like bringing in new creatures, but at the same time, I feel like I would have liked to have seen just the Raptors in Rebirth, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I really like what you said there about Dominion's added dinosaurs. I haven't really thought about it or compared it much, but I do really like the Atrociraptors and the Pyroraptors. Like, I really do like all of those. The Giga is fine. They always throw in a big one. Here's in this case, you have the D-Rex or you have the Spino in 3, or like there's always the big one, the Indominus, the Indoraptor. Like you always have the big one. So that's that one. That's whatever. But I liked the other little additions and the Quets and everything. Like I do like Dominion's additions, maybe more than Rebirth additions. More that I think about it. But what is my thought? I was going with. Had a thought. It's so late. What were we talking about?
I don't
Real
know.
quick.
Raptors.
You asked me something. Okay, yes, thank you. My raptor fatigue. That was it. So I thought I had raptor fatigue. With the Atrociraptors, like we're in Raptorville in Dominion, right? And like raptor-sized animals. And so I'm like, this is raptor fatigue. And then you're over there on Fallen Kingdom and they're climbing buildings. I'm like, this is raptor fatigue. And then you got Blue in here and baby Blue fatigue. But then here I'm sitting in Rebirth and I'm like, where are the raptors? I guess I do miss them. Maybe I didn't have raptor fatigue after all. Because then I see him sitting there and I'm like, oh, here we go. Oh, nope. Just kidding. He's gone. Never to be seen again. So I do miss them. I kind of wish there was a little bit more raptors, and I never thought I would be saying these words, so I think I had to have the absence of raptor to realize how much I miss them.
Yeah. I think I would have rather there been like a real big bad, because like in this movie we don't really have that moment. We've got a lot of interactions, right? We've got the Spinos show up for like 5 minutes. We got the T-Rex that shows up for 5 minutes. We've got the D-Rex that shows up for 5 minutes. So everything is there just like for 5 minutes. I would have liked to have seen like something maybe show up, like the D-Rex be a bigger part of the movie. I think that would have been really cool if it was like, not just in the beginning and the end. The Spinosaur, like, I think their time on, to shine was fine here, but I think the D-Rex should have been featured a little bit more. And I do think that like I wish they would have gone with a different species than the Quetzalcoatlus, because we did get that in Dominion and it was a very different version of the species. And even the Mosasaur, I feel like you could have gone with a different aquatic creature, and Titanosaurs were fine. I think even though they're very similar to a lot of things, I think the Titanosaur was different enough than the Dreadnoughtus that we got in Dominion and the Brachiosaurs and Apatosaurs. It's similar to those, but it's so like the sound design was so incredible. The look of it is really cool. Like everything about it was awesome. So I'm cool with the Titanosaur being there, but kind of wish they kind of switched up the other species like the cats and the Mosa and gave us more from the D-Rex. Personally, that's what I'm thinking as far as these raptors or
No,
these
I do.
dinosaurs are concerned.
I do agree with you. I mean, that is a valid point. Again, I didn't really think. Can you hear me, by the way? Because I think my internet was just acting weird.
Oh, I can hear you now. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. It was like doing a thing. I just wanted to make sure that we're good. Okay, so yeah, I do agree that the dinosaur choices, I didn't think this through, but you're right. I mean, we got the Quetz again, the Mosey again, but different versions of them, which is bizarre. And I get the point of, oh, you gotta get the biggest. We're looking for the biggest type of land, sea, and air, and all of that. So, and that's what they are. That's the Mosey and so forth. But yeah, I don't know. It also felt a lot like, let's give you something you're familiar with and not like nostalgic and like you've seen this dinosaur before and stuff. And same with why they always bring the T-Rex in as well. But yeah, I do wish they would have had a little bit more unique dinosaurs. You're making me really appreciate Dominion right now with its variety of new dinosaurs. Because even Fallen Kingdom had a lot of Jurassic World because the whole point was those were Jurassic World's dinosaurs. But Dominion, yeah, I'm appreciating Dominion right now with its variety, and I'm kind of Rebirth is falling a peg with its variety. So you're forming opinions for me right now.
Aw. Look, my goal in life is to make more people appreciate Jurassic World Dominion. Like I love
I
that
love
movie.
Dominion.
I love
Oh,
that
you
movie.
don't got to work on it with me. Oh, me too. Me too.
All right,
I
everybody
love
else
it.
out
Fallen
there.
Kingdom, I have issues. Fallen Kingdom, I still have issues. And it's not even the movie itself. It's what they did to Claire and that whole
Yeah.
thing. The movie itself is whatever. And it's like two separate movies anyway in one, so it makes no sense. But regardless, I love Dominion. I am a high on the Dominion. So yes, you don't got to convince me on that one.
All
You're just
right.
making me love it more right now with its variety.
Yeah, heck yeah.
I
I'm
didn't
down
think
for
of
that.
that.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
here to do. Make people like Dominion even more.
And I'm here
Um,
to make people love Jurassic Park 3 because it's so fun.
and my
So
yeah,
funny.
I look, that's never gonna happen, but I appreciate you trying.
Kirby Paint and Towel. How can you not love Kirby Paint and Towel? Oh my gosh.
Easily, very easily can't love them. That's very easy for me to not do. I can definitely not love them. But yeah, I don't know. And I think it's going to be interesting because when I have these conversations, it's actually like, I think you're the first conversation I've had post like seeing Dominion or Rebirth now 3 times. I talked with Jay Jurassic like right after the movie the first time, but like after that, I haven't talked to anybody except for you. So I'm gonna find it very interesting to really not like try to throw that movie under the bus a lot, because I feel like what we do here is talk about canon a lot and a lot of these details and like the mosasaur, why does it look different? And we did this with Fallen Kingdom. It's like, why is the island or the lagoon in a completely different spot in that movie than it was in Jurassic World? So those kinds of conversations. Now, I feel like there's bigger things happening in Rebirth than just they moved the lagoon. Like, so the lagoon was annoying, but it didn't like break the world in a lot of ways. So I'm gonna have to try to find a way to talk about Rebirth in a way that like, I think we did mostly here today, but like doesn't just constantly trash it for what they got wrong, because I do like a lot of that movie. And I think that's what's good about listening to other people talk about it, because they're telling me what they like about it or what they didn't like. So I can kind of comment on that. But I appreciate everybody, sending me their thoughts and sending us their thoughts. And hopefully more people can do it again, so we can do this sometime soon. Jen, I appreciate you sticking around for nearly a 2-hour mailbag here. As always, we record way too long and talk way
I
too
don't
much,
care.
but
Yeah.
we can do this
Yeah,
again
I live
hopefully
for the
soon.
2-hour mailbags. Yeah, I don't care. I'll do a live one. Those are fun.
Yeah,
I
we'll
don't
have to
mind.
have you back on a Wednesday night show. But yeah, Jen, thank you so much. Let's do this again. Let's plan it way sooner than 2 years. Apparently that can't be right. That's not
It
that's not a
feels
thing.
like a month, so it's
Yeah.
fine. It feels like a month. And I just saw you like
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago. Well, a month, I guess, at this point. Jesus, August.
Yeah.
Almost.
What?
But
I
I know.
don't know how it's been a month since that movie came out, but
I
yeah.
don't know.
So since we kind of got a little bit of insight into where you're at these days and what you've got going on, where can people find you though if they want to get a hold of you? Is there anything that you could, people could track you down on?
Not really. I mean, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can at Jennifer_Lynn89, but it is 100% Wicked. So I don't even know if you would want to bother if you're a Jurassic person and not into that. But if you want any Wicked, come to me. I'm here for that.
Look,
now.
I love Wicked. All the things Wicked. It's the best, one of the best things I have ever known. So I am here for that.
Same.
But I love
I was
that.
there since day one. I was there
Yeah.
since day one. I was an infant me, 13 years old, day one. I've been waiting for this for 20 years.
Yeah.
No joke, waiting for this for 20 years. I've been through like all the iterations, all the directors, all the script changes, like for the last 15 years. All the movie things from 2005 started. So I've been here. I am the OG. I'm living in this era and I'm loving it.
We just need that theme park shoe to drop so we can go like live
Brad,
wicked.
it's dropping. Did you
I-
not see this news?
Oh,
Did you not see it?
what news is that?
The Epic Universe behind the scene thing on August 20th at 9 p.m. on NBC with Bryce and Steven Spielberg and John Chu and like Michelle Yeoh, I think, and like it's
Yeah.
gonna do.
I'm
I
hoping
was freaking out.
we just need it to happen for real.
Oh my god!
I don't want them to
They're
be
gonna
like John Chu
No,
shows up
they're
and he's
gonna
like,
put-
Monsters Unchained. It's a great ride. You're like, wait, why are you talking about this?
They are going to where's our Universal in Beijing? They're going there, getting a bus, putting that ride on a truck and flying it over and they're doing that. They're putting Jurassic World in there and they're gonna put Wicked Land in there and nobody can change my mind until 9:01 on August 20th.
Hey, my fingers are crossed. I'm still
Oh my
hoping. I
gosh.
mean, look, I'm still thinking Legend of Zelda. Let's go for that, please. I got the tattoo. I need that. If we get that Jurassic and Wicked, dude, my life's set. Like
Oh my
I'm gonna never
gosh.
leave that park. So
Let
yeah,
me tell you, just the fact that Bryce and John Chu are going to be in the same breathing space is enough. Like that's killing me. That's killing me. I was in the
Yeah.
kitchen melting down when I saw this tweet. Josh witnessed the meltdown. I was melting into the floor.
that's
'Cause
amazing.
I can't even function that they're going to be in the same space, yet standing there announcing these two park additions to me, like. Everyone can have their Marvel movies. You can have your Star Wars lands. This is mine. Like this
Yeah.
is my thing. This is what I live for. This is mine. My Jurassic World and my Wicked. I cannot function that's even gonna be in the same breathing space.
Plus,
Like
we
Steven
have
Spielberg. Oh my gosh.
we have like the Texas park that's gonna have Camp Cretaceous stuff
Yeah.
there. We've got the
Mhm.
UK park that's probably gonna have Jurassic there as well. Maybe some Wicked. I don't know. But like, yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
there's a pretty promising, future I think for
Oh, I'm
Jurassic
ready.
and Wicked.
August 20th at 9:00. I'm there. I'm sat and waiting right now. Like I have NBC on my TV just waiting right now. I'm so
I
excited
love
to see
it.
what that's gonna be.
I love it. I'm waiting for that
And Bryce
press
is
release.
there.
Yeah, let's
My
go.
babe. My babe. Look at that. Doing stuff.
It's gonna hook you back. You're gonna have the website up and going again. It's gonna
Oh
be
God.
a whole thing.
No, you don't even know. I was just texting somebody I should start a Wicked podcast because I was just thinking about it.
Yeah.
'Cause I miss doing this. But I'm sure it exists and like it's late in the game. I should have at least started last year or even in January before the toys and stuff. It's late. I'm too late. I'm way too late.
Maybe, but look, you've got the enthusiasm. I could hear it. I want to hear it. Let's go.
Oh, it's there.
Produce it.
It's
Go.
there.
Make
I'm
it.
dying. I'm oozing. I'm oozing out my love for this. You have no clue. Yes, you do. You know
I
exactly
do.
how much love I have,
I've
'cause
seen
you
the
know
show
love.
7 times. I know exactly what's going on here. Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love it.
Oh, the love. You could be a guest.
Yes, I will be a guest. Absolutely. Bring me
You'll
on.
be my mailbag guest.
Yes. Yo, that's awesome. I'll do it. We're down.
All right.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. Next episode will be all about Wicked. Thanks everybody for listening, and we'll see you next
Sweet.
time.
Life will not be contained. Life breaks free, it expands to new territories, and crashes through barriers painfully, maybe even dangerously, but, well, there it is.
There it is.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
That'll do it for another episode of the Jurassic Park Podcast. We appreciate each and every one of you for listening and for sharing in your love of the Jurassic franchise. And this segment is what makes this podcast so special to me, is having the ability to hear each and every one of you write in, call in, send your MP3s, your voicemails, whatever it may be, and just tell me and Jen what you think about whatever the latest movie is, what your thoughts on the upcoming video game are, or the TV show, or the toys, whatever it may be. I kind of love it, and I love how random it can be. I love how almost synced up it feels at times, how we're all on the same page, kind of talking about the same thing. And I love that it's kind of spontaneous in that way where, for the most part, we don't really know what the questions are going to be and stuff, and we kind of just wing it. And I like that. I really like that about the mailbag. And I love hearing so many of the questions and comments. And it's just so nice to have the mailbag back on the podcast. A few years ago, we switched up the format a little bit, which unfortunately left off some of like the monthly segments and the reoccurring segments that we would do. And during that time, we were doing a lot of like longer, I was doing longer recordings and splitting them up over the course of like a few weeks and just making things easier for my life because, after, at the time it wasn't 10 years, but after 10 years of doing it, it can be a little difficult to find the time, right? But I kind of needed that format change, but I do miss doing segments like this and having the mailbag be a major part of the show. And because I think it is just one of my favorite things to do on this show is just to listen to other people and hear what other people think about this franchise, whether they love it or they dislike this or that or whatever. I love hearing everybody's individual input. And to me, that's why I started this show. That's what makes the show great. And that is what brought so many people like Jennifer to the show back in the early days. That was the reason that so many of the contributors you hear on this show are a part of the show is because they sent in something and then kind of just became routine and became somebody to rely on and to listen to all the time. And Jennifer was that for me as well. We talked so much in those early days, and then we made this segment and we did this for years. So I really miss doing this segment. It's so much fun to have Jen back on the show. And I know Jen was a little apprehensive and not knowing what she could add to the show, but I had no doubt at all after years of experience talking Jurassic with her and helping, to kind of lead the conversation and, get some answers and some fun conversation points out. I always really appreciated those chats that we had, and I'm glad we are still having them here in the year 2025 after a new movie comes out, after 10 years of doing this show. It really means a lot. So thank you so much to Jennifer for returning once again and hopefully being a part of the show, in a big way moving forward. We'll have to see how much of this we can keep going. So if you want to be a part of it, keep sending in your thoughts and feelings, and we'll keep doing this because I love this segment. It's a lot of fun, and I love doing it with Jen there. So thank you all to all of you out there for sending in everything that you did. Thank you to Jen for being a part of the show. It really, really means a lot. And as always, a huge thank you goes out to our podcast host, Podomatic, for giving us a place to upload the podcast each and every week. Everybody out there, please just know that you matter. Stay safe, be kind, fight for representation, change, and equality in the Jurassic franchise, but more importantly, outside of it, in the real world. It's especially needed these days, so please, let's make sure to make this world a better place. I'm going to go ahead and hand things off to myself for the outro. Take it away.
Saddle up, let's get this movable feast underway.
Continue the conversation with us on Threads and Instagram. Watch our content on TikTok and YouTube. Find us on the web at JurassicParkPodcast.com. You'll find today's episode show notes, articles, contributor bios, and so much more. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, our website, and wherever else podcasts are found. So please be sure to follow along and share with your friends, family, and fellow Jurassic fans. If you haven't already, please give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We will read your Apple reviews at the end of most episodes, so be sure to spare no expense. Don't miss our Wednesday night live streams, toy hunts, reviews, in-depth bonus content, gameplay, event and theme park coverage on our YouTube channel. If you want to get a hold of us or participate in the Jurassic Mailbag, you can fill out the contact form on our website or send emails and MP3s to JurassicParkPod@gmail.com. Feel free to call our voicemail line at any time to leave us a message or just to say hi. That number is 732-825-7763. Thank you so much for listening, and as always, enjoy.